So it was Kilmacud Crokes 118, Cuala 113 in the Dublin Senior Hurling Championship semi-finals. A huge win for Kilmacud Crokes, no doubt about it. They knock out the reigning Dublin Senior Hurling champions in Cuala. Cuala, who've won this competition the last 2 years running. They've been the dominant force really in Dublin hurling since 2015. And you think, Cuala have a number of All-Ireland winners in their team, thinking back to when they obviously won the All-Ireland in both 2017 and 2018. So the fact that Kilmacud Crokes have got this victory over Cuala in the semi-finals, a huge, huge win, no doubt about it, for Kilmacud Crokes as they march on to the final and they will play Nafina. And Kilmacud haven't won this competition since 2012. So a massive opportunity now for them going into the final. And Nafina, I don't think they've ever won the Dublin Senior Hurling Championship before, from what I remember. It's certainly been a long time anyway. Certainly not in my memory they haven't won anytime soon or anytime recently. So what a win for Kilmacud and what a performance. And Cuala, unfortunately, coming into this year's Dublin Senior Hurling Championship, I think it's been a very tough road to them for this to the final. They're in a very difficult group alongside Kilmacud, who obviously beat them in the group stages, and obviously had St. Bridget's in there as well. And Cuala just about squeezed past St. Bridget's. I remember that game. They then played Ballybowden. That went to extra time. So I think for Cuala, they've come through a lot of very tough encounters, and I think they really did just run out of energy, run out of steam. And I think Kilmacud were fantastic on the day, no doubt about it, and fully deserved of the victory, and without doubt the better team in 2021, with the fact that they actually have beaten Cuala twice in 2021 now in the championship. And I think what impressed me the most from a Kilmacud point of view was how hard they worked, and even the man-to-man press they done when they didn't have the ball. Like when you watched Kilmacud without the ball, I thought it was really, really impressive in terms of how they pressed. It was almost like a Gagan presser or something you'd see in soccer or something to that effect. And it actually reminded me a lot of Limerick as well when they had the ball, like the sure hand passing, the little flicks. There was one stage where Oisin O'Rourke had the ball over on the right hand side down near the sideline, a little dummy, a little flick past Jake Malone, and then he went on a brilliant solo run, was eventually dispossessed. Jake Malone ended up catching up to him and flicked the ball off him. But like, that was Kilmacud in a nutshell. They were just so good with the flicks, the short hand passing, taking their opportunities as well. And I suppose in a similar fashion to Limerick, like with Limerick, I'm not comparing them to Limerick in any way whatsoever in terms of quality, let's not get that twisted, but in terms of how both sides play and their style, I just thought it was very similar. And like Limerick, normally when you think back to the All-Ireland final versus Cork, a lot of scorers on the day, like 7 or 8 different scorers, and Kilmacud had 9 different scorers on the day of their starting 15. And what's even more fascinating was they only made one substitution, James Dillon, who came on for Dara Purcell. So very, very interesting stuff there from a Kilmacud point of view. Like a tremendous amount of quality all across the pitch. The work rate and the pace and the energy that they played with, like they just never tired. That press just never stopped. And every time Cuala got beyond their own 65-yard line, they were just harried. They were pressed. Even before that, even around the 50-metre line, like they were harried. They were pressed. Knocked off the ball, dispossessed, 3-4 men around them, was absolutely brilliant. And it was very hard for Cuala to find their flow in the game. And Kilmacud started very fast as well, and like that lead just never let up. Like they kept that lead going, they kept chipping away points. Ronan Hayes, tremendous performance. Like he's been a player that's really come of age for the Dublin Senior Hurlers in the past couple of seasons, and he's really stepped up to the mark in a big game for Dublin. He scored 1-6, scored the penalty early on, which really set the tone for Kilmacud Crokes, and a couple of brilliant points from play as well when his side needed him, no doubt about that. Alex Considine was brilliant as well, scored a tremendous point in injury time for Kilmacud. He was absolutely brilliant. Oisin O'Rourke as well, fantastic. Like what I said before, the support play in the midfield, the short little flicks, the hand passes, the dummy as well, like I said, on Jake Malone, was absolutely brilliant. And they were fantastic. Fergal Whiteley put in a tremendous shift as well. He scored 2 points, and as always, he's been a long time serving for this Kilmacud side, and he was brilliant, no doubt about that. Caelan Conway chipping away. Dara Purcell was brilliant as well. And like running through some of the scorers on the day, like Mark Rogan with a point. Lorca McMullen, he actually hit a wonderful point late on as well. He finished with 2 points. Dylan Mulligan with a point. Oisin O'Rourke with 2. Fergal Whitley with 2. Caelan Conway with a point. Dara Purcell with 2 points. Ronan Hayes with 1-6, and Alex Considine with a point as well. And like what I said before, 9 of Kilmacud's starting 15 finished on the score sheet, which shows the tremendous amount of depth that they have in their starting 15. When you're hitting scores from all sorts of angles from as many players as possible, it always gives you a fantastic chance to win. And like what I said, they never tired. Like the fact that management only made one substitution in the game shows you that they were fully drilled, and they looked like a team that could have easily played the 70 minutes, in my opinion. Obviously in club games, as we very well know, 60 minutes is in order, but I think Kilmacud could have played the 70 and even beyond that if needed to. They just didn't tire whatsoever. I thought with Cuala, like, it wasn't necessarily a case of them being dreadfully poor or anything like that. Like, you might look at the scoreline and think, you know, beaten by 5 points, which was actually probably, you know, a scoreline that probably wasn't the case. Like, Kilmacud probably should have won this by more, in all honesty, because of how good they were. And obviously Sean Moran scored a goal in injury time, and that was more just to make the scoreline a little bit more respectable. But like, Cuala had some impressive moments. I thought Con had a relatively decent game, 4 points from play. He got on the ball. He scored a couple of opportunities from tough angles. One where it was over his shoulder. I thought he was impressive. Brian Sheehy, who was marking him, though, must be said, done a tremendous job on him. Like, to be fair, he limited his opportunities. Con could have had more scores if it wasn't for Brian Sheehy, so I thought he was tremendously impressive in that department. David Tracy was impressive as well from a Cuala point of view. A couple of points from 6 points from frees, 1 point from play, so that was very impressive from his point of view. And yeah, you know, what a tremendous win in the end for Kilmacud. Like, Cuala, they were trying, you know, so much to get back into the game. They had a couple of half goal chances. Sean Moran got into a few good positions, but every time Cuala got into those attacking positions, there was a Kilmacud man there to defend it. Whether it was Brian Sheehy, Davy Crowe, very impressive, Mark Rogan as well, like I said, Bill O'Carroll getting back as well. They done their job defensively, and it was just something that was most impressive about Kilmacud Crokes, in my point of view, was how well drilled they were defensively in terms of getting those blocks in and just having so much men, like 3-4 men around the one attacker for, you know, if whether it was David Tracy who was bursting through, or Con O'Callaghan, or even the likes as well of Sean Moran, Noel Carthy, some of these lads when they were bursting forward, like, they had the options, they had the men there to cut off those attacking lanes, to cut off those chances, and I think that was something that was most impressive from a Kilmacud point of view. And they saw the game out. Like, this game was won really going into the final 5 to 10 minutes. The late goal made no difference whatsoever. There was no time left. I think the referee blew it up straight away as soon as the game restarted. So yeah, fair play to Kilmacud Crokes. A huge victory for them. Haven't won the Dublin Senior Hurling Championship since 2012. Be very fascinated to see how they get on now against Nafina. I haven't watched the Nafina game back as of yet, so I'm going to go and watch that as soon as this video is recorded. So I'll be very interested to see you know, how that game goes now between Nafina and Kilmacud Crokes in the final. And there will be previews, podcasts, absolutely everything, and build up to both the Dublin Senior Football Final and Hurling Final as well when they both come around. So stay tuned for that. My name is Aaron anyway. Stay tuned for more match reactions, podcasts, interviews, absolutely everything. And I'll see you all later.
I've been part of a team that's gone on to win 3 in a row. It's crazy, really, and you kind of forget about it sometimes.
Like, all the guys that I played with growing up through the years, like, we're all still friends and everything, so it really is like it's a good family sense and a good community sense.
We had won an All-Ireland in 97, 99, 2000. It's more local at your club, you know everything, you know the setup. It's different than joining a county panel.
It was nearly like a kind of statement to say, we're here, we're ready to play, no one's going to push us over this year.
This podcast is sponsored by Declan Kirby GAA Star. Declan Kirby GAA Star is a children's GAA book written by primary school teacher and GAA coach Michael Egan. Follow the trials and tribulations of Declan Kirby and his team at Smithgreen Gaelic Football Club. The book is a very good read for any parents who are looking to get their children involved in Gaelic games. The book is available in Easons, Lidl and all good bookshops. It's also available to download on Amazon, so make sure to go and check it out. They're very good supporters of the channel and the page, so you'd certainly be doing me a good favour as well if you went ahead and checked the book out. So I do very much appreciate it. The link is in the description down below, and let's get straight into it.